The hip-hop world is in complete meltdown tonight, and the internet cannot stop talking. A war that nobody saw coming just erupted, and it has Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields at the very center of it. Imagine this, one of the most feared. Women in rap, Remy Ma, publicly warning an undefeated boxing champion like Claressa Shields to stay away from her husband, Papoose. And she didn't do it in private. No, she did it loud, she did it raw, and she did it with a warning that shook every fan watching. But why? What could push Remy Ma to put Claressa on blast like this? Well, according to explosive insider leaks, a dirty secret tied to Claressa's past relationship just got exposed. And this secret doesn't just stain Claressa's name. It threatens to unravel everything Papoose and Remy built over decades together. Sources close to the situation claim that the leaked secret links Claressa's ex straight into a messy betrayal that could drag Papoose's reputation through the mud. Unless Remy takes control fast. Now, here's the kicker. Fans are divided. Some are siding with Remy, saying she's right to protect what's hers. Others are accusing her of insecurity, claiming Claressa never even looked at Papoose. That way, but behind the scenes, insiders are whispering that the warning wasn't just about words. It was a move to expose the truth before Claressa had the chance to. And once you hear what really leaked, you'll understand why this battle is about to turn nuclear. The tension had been bubbling quietly in the background for months. But when it finally exploded, it shook hip-hop and sports culture in ways no one could have predicted. It all started with whispers. Whispers that Claressa Shields, the undefeated, untouchable queen of boxing, has gotten way too close to Papoose during late-night studio sessions and private industry events. At first, fans brushed it off as gossip. Claressa was focused on her fights. Papoose was locked in with Remy. And nobody could imagine this trio ever being tangled in something so scandalous. But as always, where there's smoke, there's fire. And the fire erupted when a bombshell leak hit social media, according to insider sources. Claressa's ex, a man she hasn't spoken about publicly in years, suddenly resurfaced with receipts, photos, private dimes, and alleged recordings that connected him to Papoose in a way nobody saw coming. The leak didn't just hint at Claressa's past drama, it suggested her ex had dirt on Papoose himself. Screenshots spread like wildfire, showing her ex accusing Papoose of stepping into Claressa's world behind Remy's back. And whether those messages were real or fabricated didn't even matter. The narrative had already taken root. And fans were quick to assume the worst. That's when Remy Ma snapped. In a shocking move, she took her rage public. During a live session, her voice trembling with a mix of fury and heartbreak. She delivered a clear warning. Claressa, stay away from my husband. You don't know what you're walking into. Those words ricocheted across the internet, instantly becoming headline material. Hot blogs, boxing forums, and gossip pages lit up with theories. Why would Remy, a woman known for her toughness, composure, and refusal to bow to drama, put another woman on blast so directly? Behind the scenes, people close to the family claimed that Remy's warning wasn't random. She had been tipped off about Claressa's ex plotting to go public with the tapes. And she decided to take control of the story before the leak could spin out of control. But by doing so, she confirmed what many feared. There was a dirty secret lurking in Claressa's past. And somehow, Papoose was tied into it almost immediately. Fans began dissecting every interaction between Claressa and Papoose. Clips resurfaced of them at industry events laughing too hard at each other's jokes. Old tweets were dug up, showing mutual respect and subtle compliments. Suddenly, every photo, every handshake, every backstage encounter looked suspicious in hindsight. We should have seen this coming, one fan wrote on Twitter. Another blasted Remy for humiliating Claressa publicly. This was unnecessary. She's got issues with her man, take it up with him, not the girl. But the leaks kept dropping. A mysterious Twitter account began posting audio clips late at night, allegedly from Claressa's ex, where he claimed that Papoose had secretly met with him years ago. According to his wild story, Papoose wanted to bury details about a certain incident that could destroy both Claressa and Remy's reputations. What was in that incident? Nobody knew for sure, but the ex claimed he still had physical proof. Whether it was an old tape, photos, or something else entirely, he wasn't saying, at least not yet. That silence was more dangerous than anything, because it left the public filling in the blanks with their own imaginations. And then came the most shocking part: a blurred, grainy photo dropped on Instagram showing Claressa, her ex, and what looked like Papoose standing in the background. The image was unverified, but it sent social media into chaos. People argued over whether it was photoshopped or real, but the damage was done. In the court of public opinion, Papoose was already guilty. Remy Ma's reaction was swift and brutal. According to insiders, she confronted Papoose at home, demanding answers, demanding clarity. Sources claim the fight was so intense that neighbors could hear shouting through the walls. But instead of walking away quietly, Remy doubled down on her warning to Claressa, calling her out as if she were the mastermind behind all of this. She knew what she was doing, Remy reportedly told friends. And if she didn't, she's about to find out what happens when you mess with me and mine. Claressa, for her part, tried to keep her cool. She posted a cryptic tweet the next morning: "Stay focused. I fight it." But what was this dirty little pact about? That was the million-dollar question. Theories flew across Twitter and Instagram. Some fans believed it was tied to an old relationship between Claressa and Papoose that overlapped with his time with Remy. Others speculated it was financial, that Papoose had once helped Claressa cover up a scandal involving sponsors or endorsements. And then there were the darkest whispers that whatever they were hiding wasn't just personal. It was something that could shake both their reputations permanently. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields, who had built her brand on discipline, dominance, and an untouchable aura, suddenly looked vulnerable. Her cryptic posts weren't enough to silence the speculation. Every time she tried to post about boxing, the comments section exploded with fans demanding answers. What pact? One user wrote under a training clip, "Remy warned you already, sis. What's really going on?" Another added, "And while Claressa fought to maintain her composure, Remy Ma was in full defense mode." According to insiders, Remy had started calling around, trying to identify who the mole was. She was convinced that someone inside her tight circle had been feeding Claressa's ex this information. Names were being thrown around: a cousin, a longtime family friend, even a member of Remy's own management team. The paranoia was so intense that one insider described it as a witch hunt behind closed doors. But then came the photo. Out of nowhere, another leak surfaced. A never-before-seen image of Claressa, Papoose, and Claressa's ex in what looked like a hotel lobby. Papoose appeared to be talking closely with Claressa's ex, while Claressa herself stood nearby, visibly upset. Though the photo was grainy and taken from a distance, fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The narrative shifted instantly. Was this proof that Papoose and Claressa's ex really had worked together on something? And if so, what was Remy's role in all of this? For the first time, the scandal didn't just pit Claressa against Remy, it dragged Papoose into the fire head-on. Social media went into meltdown. Memes flooded the timeline. Fans dragged Papoose for being suspiciously quiet. Others attacked Claressa for pretending she's innocent when she's really at the center of all this. But what really set the internet ablaze was the leaked caption that came with the photo. "He knows what happened that night." That single line sent shockwaves everywhere. What night? What event? What did Claressa's ex mean? Nobody had answers, and that's what made it so terrifying. In the middle of this firestorm, a new player stepped into the drama: Fat Joe, as a longtime friend of Remy and Papoose. He tried to calm things down by posting, "Y'all need to stop. This is family business, not for the internet." But instead of cooling the flames, his intervention made things worse. Fans interpreted his words as confirmation that there really was something to hide. Why else would he call it family business? Meanwhile, Papoose's silence grew deafening. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed he was trying to strategize the best way to handle the storm without incriminating himself. One source close to him allegedly said, "Pap's not the type to air his dirty laundry, but the truth is, he's cornered." If that ex drops the full receipts, it's over. Claressa, on the other hand, decided to take a different route. According to insiders, she held a private meeting with her PR team, debating whether she should go on a major talk show to set the record straight. But there was a problem. Her team feared that going public would only drag her deeper into the mess. She denied everything, and the ex dropped proof later. She'd look like a liar. But if she admitted even a fraction of it, her career could crumble. And just when the tension seemed unbearable, another twist dropped, this time in the form of leaked DMIs, the messages, allegedly between Claressa's ex and an anonymous account, linked to Remy's camp, hinted at something much darker. The DMS suggested that Claressa's ex had been paid off years ago to stay silent, and that Papoose himself had facilitated the deal. Fans went wild. If the DMS were real, it meant Papoose had known about the skeletons in Claressa's closet all along and had helped cover them up. But why? Was it out of loyalty, fear, or something else entirely? Theories spiraled out of control. Some said it was a financial arrangement, others believed it was tied to protecting Remy's career. Whatever the reason, it painted a damning picture. Remy Ma, furious, allegedly confronted Papoose once again, demanding to know if the DMS were legit. Sources close to the family claim she threatened to leave if she found out he had been hiding this from her. But Papoose, still refusing to break his silence, left her hanging, a move that fans interpreted as confirmation that the walls were closing in, and then came the ultimate cliffhanger. Claressa's ex went live on Instagram late one night, his face hidden in shadows. With thousands of viewers watching, he promised to reveal the full truth in the coming days. He held up what looked like a USB drive and said, "This right here will end everything. They know what's on it. And when I drop it, the world will too." The live ended abruptly, leaving viewers shaken and desperate for answers. Was it just a stunt, or was the ex really sitting on a digital time bomb that could destroy Claressa, Papoose, and even Remy's marriage in one blow? What nobody realized, however, was that the real betrayal hadn't even come to light yet. The true mole inside the circle, the person feeding Claressa's ex with all this ammunition, was about to be revealed. And when that name came out, it would leave everyone gasping for air. The world was about to find out that sometimes the most dangerous enemies aren't the ones outside your walls, but the ones sitting right at your table. The tension had reached boiling point, with Claressa's ex teasing a USB drive that could allegedly end careers. And Remy already convinced there was a snake in the camp. Everyone in hip-hop and sports entertainment was glued to their phones. The comments weren't just gossip anymore. They read like countdowns. Fans posted things like, "Drop the drive now, and tonight is the night everything falls apart." But no one was prepared for what came next. In a shocking twist, the identity of the mole was leaked. Not by Remy, not by Papoose, not even by Claressa's ex, but by a rogue blogger who claimed they had insider receipts. Screenshots surfaced, showing a familiar name tied directly to the information. Pipeline feeding Claressa's ex, a close friend of Remy Ma herself. The betrayal cut deeper than anyone expected. This wasn't a distant acquaintance or an old associate. This was someone Remy had once referred to as family. According to the leaks, this so-called friend had been in the background for years, quietly recording conversations, saving texts, and handing it all over to Claressa's ex for revenge money. And now, with the scandal spiraling out of control, Their name was out in the open. The internet froze. Within minutes, hashtags exploded. Hashtag Remy Mole, hashtag Snake in the Camp, hashtag Betrayal of the Year. Fans couldn't believe it. Out of all people, her, one user tweeted. Another wrote, Remy's circle is collapsing from the inside. This is beyond messy. Remy Ma herself, stunned and humiliated, went live to address the chaos. Her voice shook with rage as she said, "This is what happens when you let snakes." To close, people you feed, people you trust, they'll sell you out for nothing. But let me tell you something, it's not over. Promise you that. She ended the live abruptly, her eyes filled with fury, leaving fans unsettled. But the damage had already been done. The mole's betrayal explained everything. How Claressa's ex seemed to know private details only someone in Remy's circle would have access to. It was like watching a puzzle finally click into place. But the picture... Then came the shocking confrontation. According to eyewitnesses at a private New Jersey lounge, Remy confronted Papoose in public. Sources said voices were raised, drinks were spilled, and security had to step in as the couple clashed in full view of stunned onlookers. The argument allegedly centered around whether Papoose had known about the mole all along, and if he had deliberately kept it from Remy to protect Claressa. Fans couldn't believe it. The hip-hop couple, once seen as unshakable, was now fighting in public, their dirty laundry spilling everywhere. Bloggers had a field day. One wrote, "This isn't just gossip anymore. This is the slow-motion destruction of hip-hop royalty." But just when it seemed the worst was out, Claressa's ex struck again. He went live holding the USB drive up to the camera and delivered one final message. "I've been waiting too long. They tried to silence me. They tried to pay me. But tonight, the world finds out what really happened." This drive has the video, the messages, and the proof. Say goodbye to your fairy tales. The live cut out seconds later, leaving fans frantically refreshing for the drop. No one knew if it was staged, a bluff, or the real deal, but the promise of a video was enough to send shockwaves. Twitter was chaos. Instagram was chaos. TikTok blew up with conspiracy theories, dissecting every word, every frame, every leaked piece of evidence. Even celebrities started weighing in. Some supported Remy, others sided with Claressa. But most were simply bracing for what looked like an atomic bomb waiting to detonate. Inside Remy's camp, panic set in. Sources claimed she spent hours on the phone with lawyers demanding takedowns and preparing for the worst. Claressa's PR team allegedly begged her to stay off social media altogether, fearing a single wrong move could end her endorsements. And Papoose. He vanished from public view, his silence louder than any denial. The cliffhanger was unbearable. Was the ex bluffing about the video? Or was he about to unleash a recording that could ruin careers, break marriages, and flip the hip-hop world upside down? And the scariest part, according to whispers, the USB wasn't the only copy. Rumor had it that multiple drives had been distributed to different people, ensuring that even if one was stopped, the truth would still come out. The countdown had begun. The industry held its breath, and fans everywhere waited for the moment. The truth would finally break free, knowing that when it did, nothing would ever be the same again. And that's where we leave it for now. But listen closely, because this story is nowhere near finished. The mole has been exposed. Remy and Papoose are on the edge of collapse. Claressa's ex is waving around that mysterious USB drive like it's the nuclear button of hip-hop. And the internet. It's literally tearing itself apart, trying to piece together what's real and what's smoke. But here's the truth. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. That video drops, we're talking about careers destroyed, marriages broken, endorsements pulled, and reputations shattered forever. And trust me when I say this, once the next chapter unfolds, it's going to make tonight's chaos look small in comparison. So right now, I need you to do one thing. Lock in with us. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you've smashed the notification bell, because the second that video leaks, the second the truth drops. We'll be here breaking it down piece by piece before anyone else dares to touch it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Claressa's ex is bluffing? Or is he really about to detonate the biggest scandal hip-hop has ever seen? And don't just watch, join the conversation. Because when this bomb finally explodes, you're going to want to say you were here when it happened. Stay tuned. The next update could drop any second.